Dear Chopper.
Of course we're gonna watch this video. Do you know who this video is? This video is about the fucking GOAT. This video is about the GOAT. Why everybody loves Lil Uzi Vert. I can tell you, bro. He's the best artist of all time. He makes the best music you could ever listen to. Personality wise, he's amazing. Fashion wise, he got that. He be having that shit on. Not all the time, but you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, how could you not love Uzi, bro?
I'm just gonna start the video by saying Lil Uzi has never been my favorite artist. Honestly,
yeah, I'm reporting you. No.
I've always been a little confused by how much other people love Uzi. I mean, he has a cult following, and he stayed around in the music industry for a really long time. But for some reason, I've never really felt
I ordered that vinyl, by the way. Like, as soon as it came out, that shit comes next month.
Bro,
he dropped the tour the tour dates, bro. I gotta get a ticket, bro. I have to.
I've been to his albums and listen to them over and over like I would for some of my other favorite trap artists like Cardi or Travis Scott. Obviously, Uzi has some classic songs. I can't
listening to
deny
Pink
that.
Tape
Actually, the
on
list
repeat,
of Uzi's
bro.
classic songs is pretty long. Money Longer, 20 Minutes, Shooter, EXO, Tour Life.
Set up and I flooded with an iced out watch.
But Uzi has never stood out to me at being the best at their style, even though they have some really iconic moments and ideas and a unique sound. So I've been wondering, could Uzi count as one of the greatest artists of his generation?
Yes. Whoa. Could. Yes, he is. It's simple. It's not a question. It's a statement. Uzi is the best artist of this generation of rappers. Yes. He's one of the greatest. Yes. It's simple as that. That's not even dick writing. That's just a simple answer. Yes, nigga, he is. He just is, bro. Kanye West even said it himself. Uzi is the future.
Or is he not there yet? Will he ever get there?
Yes,
on the one hand,
is
Uzi
there.
still has a ton of engaged, involved fans who are excited for the next release. But at the same time, Uzi has almost been silent in the music industry for years now. And it's hard to see if he's going to continue innovating in the same ways he had 6, 7, or 8 years ago with new and creative music anywhere near the level he...
This was before Pink Tape, I'm guessing. It had to be. This was 6 days ago. It was not before Pink Tape
used to be at. But before we get into that, look at this quick video about my new t-shirts. I've spent thousands of hours...
What?
The US. The most obvious thing about Lil Uzi's career is the long-lasting appeal that they continue to have despite being a pretty elusive character. Like, Uzi has made some of the most popular rap songs in the last 10 years, and it's all with a pretty unique style that feels like it's special to them alone. Songs like Money Longer, 20 Minutes, EXO Tour Life, Just Wanna Rock, even to this day, he's making huge hits that are very successful with 400 million Spotify streams in just 6 months with an unprecedented sound.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. 1600 block. I just wanna rock. I just wanna.
But Uzi is also kind of a mystery because they've never been anything if not unique. Everything from their persona to the rapping to their musical styles and album rollouts. Uzi knows exactly how to keep people hooked and has kept people hooked for 6 years, even though they've had some of the slowest album rollouts ever with years-long delays between projects.
Okay, listen. EA, the only reason that shit took so long is because they leaked the entire album. They leaked like every song on the original Eternal Take. Okay, so like, you know what I'm saying? He got pissed. He got mad. He was like, why the, like, y'all linked my album? So he went and he made a whole new version of Eternal Take. You know what I'm saying? Same thing happened with Cardi. They leaked all of Whole Lotta Red. So then he got mad and then he was like, no, we're just gonna delay it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really can't blame the artist for that. You just gotta blame us.
The thing is, most artists' careers...
And as in us, I mean the leakers. I'm not a part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't survive huge breaks like the 3 years between Love is Rage 2 and Eternal Take, or even the 3-year break between Eternal Take and the Pink Tape. So what makes Uzi so special that they can keep generating hype without having to play...
He's him! That is kind of crazy though. 3-year break of dropping like basically no music. Because the nigga literally, he dropped like barely any singles. Just Wanna Rock kind of carried that 3-year long break that he had. From Eternal Take to Pink Tape, it was really Just Wanna Rock. That's literally the only song that he dropped. And then he dropped the Red and White thing like last year. And that was it. Like, that was it. Literally. It's because, like, bro, Uzi goes on crazy feature runs. He went on a crazy, like, he was on hella features. And 2, it's Uzi, bro. Like, he's him. Like, He's him.
Industry games. If I'm asking the question, is Uzi one of the greats, I think the first thing I have to talk about is the unique musical style that made them some of the biggest hits of the late 2010s. But first of all, I think I have so much nostalgia for Love is Rage 2, and so do a lot of people
This
my
best
age,
album
people
of all
20,
time.
25 years old. Love is Rage 2.
I'm fucking 17 and I get nostalgic from the album. Don't leave me out, bitch. Love is Rage 2 is his best album of all time. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. There's not a single skip on that fucking album. Uzi's never dropped a bad album. Every album he's dropped has been a fucking hit.
2 was insanely popular for years after it dropped. Not to ignore Uzi's other projects, especially
This is his second best album that he's ever dropped.
The Perfect Love Tape, which is also a modern classic, but Love is Rage 2 was mind-blowingly popular. Literally a generation-defining album for Gen Z, if there ever was one.
Yes.
The nostalgia around this project is crazy. Like, let's walk through the track list for a second.
Yeah,
okay?
let's look
Sauce
at it.
Up,
You got Sauce It Up, The Way Life Goes, Neon Guts, Dark King, 20 Minutes, EXO Tour. That is 6 songs already insane. That's crazy. He didn't even bring up 444 plus 222. He didn't bring up 2. He didn't bring up Malfunction. He didn't bring up Feelings Mutual. Like, come on, bro.
Way Life Goes, Neon Guts, Dark Queen,
Those are
20
6
Minutes,
hits right there.
EXO Tour Life. These songs were
Of
emo
the
and
same
dark,
album.
but catchy and poppy and fun at the same time.
Like, that album was crazy.
She just wanna go back to the future, so
I pressed that color DeLorean. 20 more minutes until I got just right to the girl. I'm gonna slaughter it.
I push it
Nothing in my shoulder. None of my chain and Gucci. I don't want that girl, she moody. I'm basically saying I'm cooler. Get Dior discounts for my cougar. Back in the 6th grade, I had them back grades. Baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.
This is the best music of that sound to come out of that time.
That shit was
Point
amazing,
blank,
bro.
Period.
Yeah,
These tracks
facts.
were dark yet colorful, hazy yet melodic.
They're so
this was
beautiful.
the spirit of music at the time, and Uzi defined that generation. Again, this is peak SoundCloud rap, like when SoundCloud rap stopped being underground and became truly mainstream for just a minute. And the best thing about it is that Love is Rage 2 actually feels really polished and complete. It's not a raw, rough mixtape. I mean, there's
Amazing.
production from Pharrell Williams, Metro Boomin, Pierre Bourne. There are features from The Weeknd and Pharrell. It's just a really colorful, psychedelic,
Such a good
vibrant
album.
album that still feels fresh 6 years later. And biggest of all, Love is Rage 2 has 5,250,000,000 Spotify streams. What I'm saying is that Uzi already has a legendary album under their belt. And while it may not be a perfect album, I still
is a
think
perfect
it's one of
album.
the best melodic trap.
It is a perfect album. Name me one miss. You can't. There isn't one. And people are like, what about Loaded or Skirt Skirt? Or no, there isn't one. He didn't miss.
Style albums ever made, with so many iconic
I'm gonna go
melodies,
along my
colorful
wrist.
sounding
No, he
instrumentals,
didn't
and
miss.
really dense sounding atmospheres. I think all of these over-the-top sounds come together for something really special that feels timeless to this day. The beats are cloudy, the drums are minimal, the synths are fun, and the way the album goes from light to dark and back again makes it feel infinitely replayable. Of course, not to mention how EXO Tour Life was literally one of the most popular songs of the entire decade and
Facts.
the best-selling emo rap song of all time. Back in
Facts.
2017, when Love is Rage 2 dropped, the melodic, poppy, emo rap style was as fresh and new as it could possibly be. But even today, 6 years later, after that sound has come and gone completely, Love is Rage 2 is one of the best sounding emo rap albums that was made ever. And
It's one of the best rap albums that was made ever. Come on, bro. Fuck emo rap. Just best rap album ever made in existence. Let me chill out.
still love listening to The Way Life Goes and Sauce It Up to this day. They
Bro,
aged well.
I listen to that
because they were
album
made
like
well.
every day,
One
bro.
of the weirdest things about Lil Uzi's career, though, after a #1 debut album, after all those streams, after a game-changing project that everyone loved, all of those iconic songs, the weirdest thing is that Uzi hasn't really made that much music in the 6 years since then. There are some good reasons why Uzi's been pretty quiet since then. A lot of it has to do with troubles with their label, but most of all, it's just
his
impressive
label
that
did fuck
interest
him.
in Uzi hasn't gone away
Free
completely.
Uzi.
But anyway, after Uzi's crazy impact on hip-hop in 2016, 2017 with that legendary feature on Bad and Bougie, Love is Rage 2, and some classic collabs with Playboi Carti,
Let that shit back to the bone. Hey, these are the watch, and I swear to God, they my clones. Switching my hugs and my flows. Switching my flows and my clothes. Pull up and I flooded with an iced out watch. Whip it look like butter, baby. Pecan drop. I'm so mad they took his other verse off this song.
Not to mention, again, the massive impact of Love is Rage 2, literally one of the biggest albums of the late 2010s. It just seems like things got stuck in place when Uzi announced Eternal Atake, their second album. They posted that it was coming soon in July 2018, but it wouldn't be.
Bro, it was supposed to, but they leaked
it.
it.
Honestly, it's kind of sad that even when Eternal Atake did finally get released in 2020, after years of—
What's that? What bullshit is this thing about to say? What are you about to say? It was ass? It wasn't. He didn't miss. The only song people can say he possibly missed on was, people might not have liked Urgency, but that song is good as fuck. I don't understand. Or what? P2? People like P2. People at first didn't like P2 because people were trying to compare it to EXO Tour Life, which I understand. Because compared to EXO Tour Life, it is not as good. But P2 is an amazing song.
Drama and delays and rumors and trouble with their label and false starts, it just wasn't the same. Eternal Atake is a little bit long. It doesn't have enough bangers. Some of these songs just really...
This nigga fucking dumb? Are you dead? It doesn't have enough bangers? Is he fucking slow? You're telling me this wasn't one of the best intros you've ever heard? It doesn't have enough bangers? Are you dumb? First of all, the leading single, well, this wasn't the leading single because this was the leading single. This came out in what, like the end of 2019? And then this came out at the start. Or was this the start of 2020? Because it does say official summer 2020. No, this was the end of 2019 going into 2020. Because it was going to be like the new dance of 2020 or whatever. This dropped like a couple weeks before the album. So you had these two leading singles, Fire. Offer. This literally is a hit song right here. Both of these technically. This is one of the greatest Uzi songs. One of the best Uzi songs ever. Shout out Travis Scott for the sample. Bro literally went on a run. This whole from Baby Pluto to Homecoming is some of the hardest Uzi songs you could ever hear. They got the most beautiful shit possible from I'm Sorry all the way to Venetia. I don't know how to say this shit. I'm not gonna lie. From I'm Sorry all the way here, you got some of the most beautiful to the end, basically. The most beautiful shit you've ever heard, bro. Most beautiful songs ever. Or to Chrome Heart tags with the Chief Keef production. Oh my god. Celebration Station's one of the best songs off the album. This shit is amazing. Prices might be is possibly the best song off the album. You got Pop, Balenci. Like, what? This nigga's, bro.
Melt together without standing out on their own. It doesn't quite justify how big it is. And honestly,
but Uzi did say the same thing, which I don't understand how he even thought. He was like, he didn't like Eternal Take as much because he said there wasn't no like real hits on it. Which I can understand where he's coming from because he did drop last album drop was Love is Rage 2, and it had like 20 minutes, EXO Tour Life, which were huge songs, like high on Billboard. And Eternal Take, it's because Eternal Take wasn't, here's why. Eternal Take didn't have like those type of hits, but they were hit songs that if you listen to the album you enjoyed, you know? He dropped an album full of good ass songs. It wasn't an album where he was trying to aim to drop a hit. I feel like that's why. You know what I'm saying?
I do like the themes and concepts and sounds of Eternal Atake, but it's just
there were hit songs for the fans
to really be considered a modern classic like Love is Rage 2. And I don't think it even made an impact anywhere near what Love is Rage 2 did either. But why not? I mean, first of all, Eternal Atake was supposed to be this giant concept album. It was the album that was supposed to be about space and aliens and UFOs and all these little things. A lot of the lyrics on Eternal Atake are noticeably bad. Not because Uzi has to have good lyrics to justify their creativity or their sound, but if the creativity and the sound isn't there, the bad lyrics really start to stick out like a sore thumb.
I love this song. I don't give a fuck with nobody. This is one of the hardest songs off the album. I don't give what is like what. You better move. You better move. And the beat was so tough. You better move. You better move. Bro, all you played, you didn't even play the lyrics. You just played the fucking like hook, the chorus, whatever. Like you didn't even
more noticeable
into the verse
because of how Eternal Atake's production wasn't always that immersive or atmospheric or creative. Okay, look, for an artist to succeed with the second album, at least someone should think it's better than their first, but I think it's pretty clear almost no one felt Eternal Atake was an improvement on Love is Rage 2.
It wasn't.
Mostly because even to this day, the most streamed song from the album is a literal remake of EXO Tour Life. Eternal Atake just didn't live up.
Oh, it's Footstool Shuffle, fucking idiot. Footstool Shuffle's on the album. That's the most streamed song off the album. It's either that or That Way. But we're talking about new songs, then I guess it's P2. I didn't even know that. I thought it was, I don't know, bro. Like, but you can't be mad that it's the most streamed song. It's a good ass song. Like, what?
To the hype.
It's
Not
the part
because
2.
there weren't any good ideas on it, because there are. Some of the production on Eternal Atake is amazing. The intro track,
And then the
Baby
deluxe
Pluto,
was
has
so good,
beautiful
bro.
synths that feel fresh. I'm Sorry feels like an early 2010s pop song in a really, really good way. Chrome Heart Tags feels like a beautiful young lean track with sparkling synths and minimal drums.
Call my phone, don't answer me, then I told the girl don't call back. Drip, splash, I can just sauce that. Yeah, I picked the bitch up, but I made her walk back. Yup. All my niggas got the tools, so you need a hard hat. Yeah, and I'm sorry for everything I ever said. Yeah, I'm sorry if you were misled.
But at the same time,
Ain't no way this
some
nigga's
of
really
the
talking
beats
shit
on
about Eternal Atake
Atake
right
are
now,
just
bro.
boring. It's just blobs of nothingness. Songs like Pop, Homecoming, Secure the Bag, they're really forgettable. They don't
But the only bit I can agree with that on is maybe Secure the Bag. Secure the Bag is probably my least favorite song, and it isn't even bad.
represent Uzi's best creativity or ideas or effort at all.
There's no way, bro. There's no way talking shit about Pop, bro. Heck yeah, when I tell you about the whip that I got. Nigga, bitch wanna pop. You out. This is a game. This is a game. This is a game. This is a game.
So ultimately, I think Uzi just didn't really have any great ideas for memorable songs on Eternal Atake. When you look through the streets,
people just don't understand, huh? They just don't get it. Uzi, they don't get it, bro. I get it, Uzi. I get it. And then he dropped an amazing deluxe, which is with the legendary Myron on it. He did other beautiful snippets like Kobe and
dreams for this album, and you compare it to Love is Rage 2, Love is Rage 2 was way more successful. Honestly,
no
Eternal
shit.
Atake didn't really produce many lasting songs at all, if any. Again, that's not to say it's bad, but Eternal Atake came and went. It isn't bad, but it's nowhere near as memorable and catchy and fun as
I will
Love is
always
Rage
remember
2.
Eternal
And
Atake.
even though there are
That's a lie, bro. People still talking about Eternal Atake to this day. You fucking lying ass nigga. You wanna know why? Because because of how random it drops. Literally, if you can ask like 100 people where they were when that album drops, and all 100 people can give you an answer, because it was just that memorable. Of like the world stopped. Eternal Atake and the world stopped. Eternal Atake dropped and the world stopped. Bro, I can tell you exactly where I was at when Eternal Atake dropped. We were in, I want to say it was the third or fourth period. I forget which period, but I know what class it was. I forget which period, but I know what class. It was my weightlifting class, football. We were just leaving that class. I go into the locker room to go change back into my clothes. My friend Nick, he's like, "Yo, Brandon, Uzi just dropped an album." I look at him. I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Uzi just dropped an album." I rush to get my phone. I look, I see that Uzi dropped, but we have no connection in the locker room, so I can't listen to it. And at this time, this was my freshman year of high school, and they were like very strict when it came to AirPods and shit and stuff like that. Like throughout the year, like basically right after freshman year, they stopped being as strict. But freshman year, they were very strict on that shit for no reason. For no reason. But after that, they really weren't that strict, or most teachers weren't. Some teachers were, some teachers weren't. But anyway, that's another point. So we were leaving that class, and we had to walk back we were walking to the cafeteria. When we got to the cafeteria, I literally yelled across the entire cafeteria, because we were walking through the cafeteria doors, and where me and my friends we sat all the way on the other side of it, where the doors were. I yelled across the cafeteria to my friend. I was like, "Eternal Atake dropped!" And it was AJ. AJ was over there. I was like, "Eternal Atake dropped!" And he was like, "Well," I was like, "Eternal Atake, he dropped it!" And bro, I go over there. I'm like, "Oh my god, Eternal Atake dropped, Eternal Atake dropped." I put down my stuff. Me and AJ, I don't even think we got our fucking food yet. We didn't even go get food. We sat down. He gave me a headphone. He turned that shit on, and we started listening to Baby Pluto. And bro, just fire, nigga. I listened to that shit, bro. For the rest of the day, I was listening to that shit.
some catchy songs and sounds, it just didn't live up to the potential that Uzi had set up for themselves with Love is Rage 2. That being said, the Eternal Atake Deluxe version was basically a
beautiful. It was a whole nother album, basically. Beautiful. This album was beautiful. Don't care. Beautiful album. Beautiful. Eternal Take, beautiful. Love vs. the World 2, beautiful.
Whole standalone album in its own way, with 14 new songs and a bunch of features that weren't included on Eternal Take from artists like Chief Keef, Future, 21 Savage, Young Thug, Lil Durk, Gunna, Young Nudie, and Nav, and beats from some really great producers like Wheezy and Pure Bourne. Some of the tracks on the Eternal Take Deluxe are among my favorites that Uzi has made since Love Is Rage 2, like No Auto with Lil Durk having a really fun drill beat, Money Spread with Young Nudie being a really vibrant instrumental.
Dude, that song is so fire.
What's Up with Future actually
The only thing about Money Spread I don't like is I don't really like Young Nudie's verse that much. I think Nudie's verse was kind of eh. What's Up is fire.
Futuristic and spacey.
What's Up
this
is so
is
fire.
the fun sounding project that Uzi was missing for a while.
Don't worry, cause we gonna break them out.
Put it out. That's my baby now. Getting on the low cause it's a lady now. I just made me 180 now. Wait, how much of the promo they be paying out? What you gonna do? Yeah, when it comes to you. What's up? Don't remember me cause I walk around without the enemies. I'm make sure that they feeling me, so I walk around with a new lemon squeeze. Everybody know I am from outer space, and then they feeling me, and I walk around bugging out bank account, cause you wanna catch up and like telling me, oh my god.
Though there are still some really boring tracks on here, and
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
not sure why
Like
Uzi
what,
thought
bro?
that this project had
Like
to be
what?
14 tracks
Like
long.
what?
Not that the beats are bad, but Uzi just didn't really try very hard
Like
on songs like
what?
Lotus and Come This Way. The production
Lotus, come this way. What? Alright, bro. All musical opinion from this nigga don't matter to me anymore, bro.
on these tracks is actually
I mean,
pretty
they already
interesting,
did it.
But Uzi just goes
I don't really
on
care
and
about
on
other
in a way
people's
that doesn't
opinion about
stick out
music.
for
If I like it, I
any
like it. If
particular
I don't, I
reason
don't.
At all. The flows, the rhymes, the lyrics, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Me every time I try to hide, come
this way, yeah, come this way, yeah, come this way, yeah, come this way. What'd he say? But I should have signed, and I could have been as Dallas. No one number 3, I go got out with my wallet. My fault. No, I got that night, he got the phone talk. Niggas on this fucking, they got show us. He just don't get it, bro. He just don't get it, bro.
Deluxe is a really fun project with a lot of cool.
You just don't get it, bro.
Sounds and moments. But still, though, this was mostly for the fans, and it's not really an official album. So the impact it made
what's
is
wrong
pretty
with that?
limited
Like,
compared
what?
to a full studio project. It doesn't really feel like a full studio project either. But at this point in time, it's actually been longer between Eternal Take and Now versus the time between Love Is Rage 2 and Eternal Take. 2 years and 9 months versus 3 years and 4 months. And Uzi hasn't really done that much with music since then. They dropped the Pluto X Baby Pluto
That was
collab
aight.
album with Future,
Oh,
which was honestly one of the worst albums either of them has ever made, with just a few.
Alright. Let's calm it the fuck down, nigga. Let's calm it the fuck down. The album was good. It just wasn't as good. It wasn't as like big as we expected it to be. But let's not act like this shit was ass. This shit was not ass. There are so many good tracks off this album and the deluxe.
Few decent songs, and it was pretty much immediately forgotten by fans and the general public. It's just a record full of throwaways with only a few good songs. And what does that really add to an artist's discography? It's just, it doesn't.
And Drinking and Smoking went crazy.
Songs like Real Baby Pluto,
That was so
She's Never
fire.
Been to Pluto, they're just not that good.
Real Baby Pluto was fine. That's one of the best. You been saying I'm gifted, you give me a stiffy, I'm fucking at home for the low. Letting my bitch, you know I got plenty of on the road, baby Pluto. I just be getting them bitches, say better or money, I'm getting 500 a show. Better than this and burn it. Like what? I like churros. That's like the friends that a long way from noodles. I thought they getting bigger on sumo. Baby Sasuke whipping out Naruto. Been it up, but the young nigga poodles. I'm been up, I was in the bitch, she was
The Red
like,
and
what?
White EP was a solo EP from
Fire!
last summer, which was also
Fire!
followed pretty quickly by almost everyone except hardcore or Uzi fan. There are some cool beats on here, like the last song Final Fantasy, which feels really creative with bells and strings, but for the most part it feels pretty stale. While a song like Final Fantasy is pretty fun and creative, tracks like It's a Hit just feel so phoned in.
Final Fantasy, got the strategy. Final Fantasy.
This is an outro, chat. This is our outro.
She can't stand up.
Final Fantasy, she can laugh on me. Final Fantasy, this a new life. Final Fantasy, this a trilogy. Final Fantasy, this I don't give a fuck. This EP was hard. It's a hit. It's a hit. It's a hit.
Really, the only thing that Uzi's done in the last few years that I've actually loved and felt enthusiastic about is featuring on Yeet songs like Flawless and Big Tonka.
Oh, yeah. All right, bro. So he's these type of, oh, yeah. See, he's that type of, I definitely don't give a fuck about your musical opinion now. Yeah. I've heard enough.
Clown me for this. Maybe people don't like Yeet, but I think these features ended up being pretty interesting to hear. It was fun.
And, you know, like, don't get me wrong, his features were fire, but the crazy thing is, like, he carried Yeet on all those songs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, 3G, Big Tonka, Flawless, Yeet got fucking backpacked on every last one of them.
To hear Uzi work with someone who's actually pushing boundaries in music and not just.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah, I've heard enough of this nigga. Don't get me wrong, Yeet is definitely on some different shit, but oh my god, yeah, I've heard enough, bro. As soon as he brought up Yeet and saying like that was the biggest moments of Uzi's like career since then, like yeah, I'm good, bro. I've heard enough from this nigga, bro. I've heard enough from this.
Over.
Flawless, yeah. Better than with these cardias. Flawless, yeah. Even though she is in love, I'm so.
Don't get me wrong, they're fire, but like, god damn,
when we
that nigga's
consider
on
that
dick.
Eternal Take was a pretty good but not exceptional album, and we waited 2 years to hear it. And then even considering that everything Uzi's dropped since then is just as mid, if not more lazy than that project, looking forward to the Pink Tape, which Uzi's fans have been waiting for literally since 2020, it's easy to see that Uzi might feel a little bit stuck or not sure where to go with this new project, and that's why it took a long time to come out. For the last few years, Uzi's been playing more with experimental beats, you know, featuring on Bring Me the Horizon songs, attracting themselves towards metal sounds, alternative sounds, pop sounds. They performed Misery Business on stage with Paramore.
So tell all your friends, this is the end of everything.
Generally just moving away from emo rap and trap music and more towards an alternative rock inspired look and sound, which makes perfect sense. Uzi's always been inspired by rock and metal.
Yeah, he does say he's a rock star.
Sounds. It's just that at the time when Uzi was coming up, emo rap was a great way to break into the scene. And maybe Uzi's gonna end up making the best music of their career now that they're not held back by emo rap being the dominant sound anymore. And like I mentioned before, Just Wanna Rock is not a rap song. That is one of the most successful songs Lil Uzi has made in the last 6 years, possibly the most streamed track since Love Is Rage 2. It's way bigger than anything from Eternal Take in just 6 months. And it has a beat that's heavily inspired by Jersey Club and dance music. It's basically not a rap song.
It's not a rap song at all. The nigga barely said anything, bro. That's why I hate when niggas like hype this song up like it's his best song ever, bro. Like the nigga didn't even say shit. Literally his whole second verse, boo, 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 boo. Like, come on. Like, don't get me wrong, this shit is fire. Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You just wanna rah, rah. But like, god damn, I just hate when niggas hype it up like it's the best song the niggas ever dropped. I just wanna rah. I just wanna rah. I just wanna rah. Like, literally the song is him making sound effects.
Again, this track ended up being a huge hit, and it showed that Uzi still has creativity left in the tank and doesn't have to rely on emo rap to make a good track. And at the same time, the Pink Tape album trailer has a ton of snippets that actually feel really promising, mostly because they don't sound like boring standard trap pop. And I think that's pretty important to Uzi continuing to be.
Was it I Got It in the trailer?
Music. Love Is Rage 2 is a classic because it was creative and fresh. Eternal Take and everything else fell flat because Uzi pretty much just kept retreading and going over older ideas. Again, hardcore Uzi fans, not saying Eternal Take wasn't good. I like Eternal Take,
yeah,
but it wasn't fresh. And while that's fun for the hardcore fans, music as a whole is moving away from pop, trap, and emo rap. Emo rap is dead.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
Trap,
I don't want it to be the main music
style, and Lil Uzi could be one of the artists to bring that to the table. Listening to the anime-inspired dance music snippets with metal guitars and trap drums that you can hear on the Pink Tape trailer, it's like, okay, Uzi might be getting their creativity back, and I really do think that Uzi could continue being one of the greats if the Pink Tape has a fresh and creative sound. If that's really what the album sounds like, anime, dance, metal, trap music, that could actually work. That could be a memorable album that doesn't have to go in a month. But if the Pink Tape is
it's number one
pop trap album, I think Uzi's gonna be cooked from a creative and commercial standpoint. I can't imagine that fans are gonna go crazy with sales and streaming, considering that we've heard that formula so many times in the last
it went crazy again okay.
7 years.
It went
when Love
crazy.
is Rage 2 came out, I was 16 years old. I couldn't drive. I had no money. I was in high school. I'm 23 years old now. You know, I don't want to hear the same thing again. But even though Lil Uzi's career isn't spotless from a creative standpoint, they've still been responsible for some really huge moments in music across the last 7 or 8 years. Maybe that formula has gotten stale and needs to be improved upon, but Uzi is still one of the artists of our generation. But if they drop again and we get the same old trap music as always, Uzi's cooked. But if they come through with some real fun shit, some shit we haven't heard before, I think Uzi really could become one of the greatest. He did come through with some fun shit. As opposed to someone who was making hits 6 or 7 or 8 years ago.
He did come through with some real fun shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like who you know really like dropping shit, like how Uzi was really out here dropping shit. Like bro, like nigga really did come in with some fire shit. Like bro went from this right here, bro. Like he had this right here.
Yeah. Yeah, whoa, yeah, 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 whoa. My neck is filled with the water. Ay, I might just fuck around and take your daughter. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they had this right here.
Check my number on the bitch in a second. Yeah. Not about money, then leave me a message.
Spin again, just spin again. Wake up in the fish for old Clearland. Spin again. And they had this where he was rapping his ass off on some different shit. He was rapping his ass off, bro.
Uzi Vert. I be swagging so hard, man. Little hard, but
let a bitch look at her right in the chair. I don't know the bitch, I told her come here. I got the guap, my name is Samir. It's not me too now, who is that here? That is your friend, who do you share? Don't know nobody, maybe I swear. That is your baddies, the grand finale. That is the check, just like a tally. State of the band, just like a tally. Money don't matter the climate, yeah. Never think I'ma go diamond, yeah. That's the reason I keep climbing. You feel me? And then he had like some shit like this right here.
My life like a movie, I do this often, yeah. I do this often, I just like it, it's awesome, yeah. My life like a movie, I do somebody that I used to know. I don't know what I say. I'm sorry, I cannot feel my body, yeah. I'm in the party, I'm up 2 shots of Molly, yeah. I'm feeling awesome, be this way to the coffin, yeah.
They had this shit right here, like, come on, bro.
I'm too focused when it comes to the cash flow. Lost my mind, where's on my last home? They took all my last loss, making sure this time that I got that done close. Now I'm back on. They thought I fell off and they said I would be back on. Now they took back up and gave myself a backbone. That's a fucking mess on.
I've been going, y'all, guess I'm a tax song. And then he had some shit like this. You know what I'm saying?
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup.
I didn't better do that, shake up. Why you need to keep up on the table? Can you go to red on the table? You wanted to.
Grab a brush and put a little makeup.
You wanted to. I just got the better than shake up. You wanted to.
Why you need to keep up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in mine.
They had this shit. 100 gram large. Yeah. I gotta take a garage. Yeah. Then I have to make it far. Yeah. Mama, I did it a star. Yeah. Yellow dot mirror like March. Yeah. That girl so big like a park. Yeah. Made it from Pluto to Mars.
If the lights go off, baby, would you ever change?
And then he has the most beautiful song I've ever heard in my entire life.
Take your time, Uzi.
Take your time. Take your time.
I don't know if you're really in love with me now.
Like the versatility is so crazy on this album, bro.
I don't know if you're really in love with me now.
And then you got some where he's talking on some real shit. Then you got him speaking on some real shit.
I went through so many experiences in my life. You wouldn't even understand. You would think that's what I call you, man. We go golfing. Make sure I ain't feel no drama.
Look at you like my own mama. Wasn't old enough to be my mama. But then better that's the timing. But then time. Then he came with the OG, just the hits, the songs that we've been wanting to hear for years, with the classics. No answer, please do not to call my phone. Mr. Do not answer phone. Pull on them and leave me alone. Bevel cup is styrofoam. Put them in her ego room. Put them in the moonlight room. Look up there, big like zoom. Pink Tape is a fucking classic. But you thought I wasn't gonna get comfortable? You know I wouldn't do this if it wasn't you.